This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
From 98.1 CHFI Studios in Toronto, Canada.
Hey Toronto, this is Ed Sheeran.
This is Kelly Clarkson.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
This is Adele.
This is Madonna.
It's Michael Bublé, and you're listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep Show. It's fun. They're amazing.
Oh, I swore I'd never do it again. During COVID, I said I am never going to be handshaking again. Not just because it was the pandemic and we were all trying to stay safe, just because it made me stop and think handshaking's pretty disgusting.
It's pretty gross.
Whether there's a pandemic or not, anything that is on that person's hand, you are then absorbing onto your hand, which you are inevitably going to touch your face, rub your eye, touch your nose, touch your mouth. And you're getting those germs, and that's how we get sick. So I said I am done with the handshake, and we are going to become a fist bump society. And Pooja, you know what? I am a dirty liar.
Yes, you are. I said the same thing, and I will admit, for some reason, instinctually, the fist bump is not something that comes to me. I put my hand out to shake people's hands. That's just what happens.
The Putt for Pups Invitational was on Monday in Tottenham, and I cannot tell you how many hands I shook. And every time, because I met so many wonderful people, listeners, volunteers, people who were just coming out to the tournament and wanted to chat. I shook everyone's hand, 120 people.
Oh, my.
And honestly, every time I was shaking in the back of my head, I'm like, I got to get to the bathroom to wash my... There was one instance where I was in the bathroom washing my hands vigorously. I stepped out of the bathroom and someone was like, hey, Gurdeep. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you.
You just put your hand
Went
right back out there?
into the bathroom. I don't know if I have any skin cells left on my hand. And then I'm not sure if I'm connecting dots that are, not there, but I missed yesterday on the Pooja and Gurdeep. It was just the Pooja show because I was sick. Now, I'm no doctor, but I think it might have been because
they're related?
Because I shook everyone's hand on Monday. So, why am I doing this? Why are we doing this?
I don't know. And for whatever reason, if it's not the fist bump, maybe we just need to come up with something else. I know in India, they do namaste, right?
Namaste is great.
They just you put your hands together, you do a little bow.
I wish we could do that.
That's also not going to come naturally to me. So I'm suggesting we do the booty bump. Have you ever seen the booty bump?
The booty bump?
I don't actually know what the official term is, but it's where our hips, we bump our hips
together. Hold on, show me what you mean. I know this is radio, but you Oh, whoa, hold on. Okay.
Your hips don't lie.
You guys can't see what just happened, but Pooja just took her hands over her head to make a star. Your hands connected above your head.
Yeah.
And you thrusted your hips toward the side. So now...
And so then that's how we would say, hey.
Isn't this like a disco dancing move?
Yes. Picture the 70s.
Bell bottoms.
On roller skates.
Yeah.
And booty bumping.
You think if we can't do the fist bump as a society, you think people are going to be okay with the booty bump?
Don't knock it. You try
But
it.
you're literally asking us to knock it. You're asking us to...
Yeah. And be careful because you don't want to knock anybody over.
Okay, the booty bump. I don't know that one's going to stick, but listen, anything to retire the handshake.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
I know I'm aging because sometimes I see things around me and I'm like, huh? I just don't get it.
Like that?
Like the hey? Just like that. And this includes fashion trends. And don't get me wrong, I'm not coming from a place where I'm being judgmental. I'm coming from a place where I want to copy what's latest, the trend, what all the kids are doing. I want to do it too.
Dress like an 18-year-old?
Yeah, but I have to understand it first. I have to make sense of it. And there was one over the weekend and I was like, I don't understand. What are we doing here? I was standing in line. So there was this woman in front of me. And so, I had several minutes to stare at the back of her.
Examine what you were looking at. Okay.
Yes. And so she took the top of her jeans, okay?
Okay.
And she flipped them over, okay? So I want you to picture inside out, just the top of your jeans. So where the button
part
is,
where your belt would go and the button is?
Yes. Just that part is flipped. It's not open. It's not unzipped or anything like that. It's just flipped.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not being ageist, but just for context, roughly what age was she?
A young person, maybe in their early 20s.
Okay.
She looked amazing. She looked fantastic. But it was flipped over. And you could see the brand name of the jeans, happened to be the Gap.
Like inside out.
Yes.
Okay.
And you could see the size of the jeans. And it was very much on display to show you that this is what size I am and this is the brand. And then her friends beside her also were doing it. So it wasn't like she was
they
just...
all had their jeans flipped.
They all had their jeans flipped.
This isn't like when someone accidentally has their collar out and you're like, hey, your tag out. And you're like, hey, then I'll tuck this in for you. This is on purpose.
I almost did that. Then I had to stop myself. And I was like, I think it's a trend.
Because you realize the whole gaggle of them
Yes.
had it done.
Yes. And so I think it's great. You don't care what, people get to see what size your jeans are or whatever. I guess this is about celebrating all shapes and sizes and whatever. That's all positive. It's just that it was I can't see myself ever doing this. And what are we, like, what is it to show off the brand? Like, what is the purpose?
I haven't seen this personally. Have you come across this, Steph? I haven't seen this.
No, it reminds me of, don't you remember, it was like late 90s where people would unzip a little bit and then flip your jeans just in the front down?
Yes,
and
but that was like unbuttoned?
Yeah. So,
Or like,
but
remember-
we didn't have the tags out.
Also didn't get that.
Remember when Levi's jeans were really big and like the color of the tab was like a status thing? Like, are you red tab? Are you silver tab? Are you
Right. So
That
maybe it's a status thing?
But like, what are you showing off? Where it's from or what size you are?
I'm not sure. And like, if you know what this is, please call and explain it to me or send us a text at 981-981. But as this is going on, I look over at my husband. I'm like, have you seen this before? And I'm having this kind of discussion with him. And my husband goes, yeah. He goes, do you remember the things we did in the 80s and 90s? He's like, Miss, shaking your head. He's like, if you tried to explain that to a young person today, they would also say, I don't get it. Hello, scrunchy socks. And I used to take knee-high socks and then roll them down.
I remember that. Like roll it down like nice and round.
Yes.
It was very like satisfying to do that.
And weird.
Yeah.
So I'm guilty of this too.
Right. Seinfeld might have been ahead of the time because I remember he was a size 32 and famously scratched out the size and wrote 31. He wanted people to see he was a 31 and he was really a 32.
So maybe.
For me, I'm going to go back to the early 90s, going to Wonderland. Overalls, denim overalls, one side down with the crossbody fanny pack, which, by the way, is back. I'm wearing the crossbody right now. So half of the look is back, but that was like the thing.
And everybody did it, and it made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is just like, this is the way it goes?
Steph?
I don't know. I wore the overalls too with my one shoulder down and sometimes two shoulders down.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, wait, how did it
Yes.
how did it stay up?
Because
what do you mean two shoulders down?
You can wear them two shoulders down because then when you hook them, they would stay on. Yes.
You still have buttons on the side.
Yeah.
So it's still like staying up on your waist.
You don't undo all the buttons on the
Why
side.
is my
Come
brain
on
having
now.
such a hard time reconciling this? The top just like footloose and fancy free, just dangling in the wind?
because you could put the buttons on the sides
What
all
if
the
it
way
catches something while you're running?
No, then no, you weren't doing anything.
See, you're doing what I was doing with these girls in front of me. We're overthinking it.
The Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
This is the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
You know, maybe it's not something you've thought about before. What is your favorite or your best sense? There's 5 of them. For me, it's my sense of smell because I didn't know that I had this talent, but I can smell things that other people can't smell. And I know your mind goes to a bad place.
Okay.
But like, for instance, my dad would pick me up from school in high school and I would get in the car and I'd be like, did you make chana? And he'd be like, how do you know?
Chana, the Indian dish, is like a chickpea-based dish.
Yeah, but I would know what he made that's at home based on what the car smelled like.
Now,
It's insane.
In fairness, Indian cooking is quite pungent. Like that.
Yes, but it could be any dish. Another time I got in the car, I'm like, did you make rajma? Different than chana. And I knew it was different. Okay? There's times where I come down the stairs and I'm like, Paul, did you cut some cucumbers? And he's like, I did that like an hour ago. I can smell things that other people can't smell. It's usually food, though.
But this is also from the person who says maple smells like BO.
Yes.
So I don't know.
The synthetic kind, not
Right.
the natural kind, the synthetic kind.
Synthetic BO or synthetic maple?
Both.
Okay, got it.
What's yours?
First off, you should be a sommelier. For me, obviously, it's touch.
I'm answering seriously.
So am I. I'm very tactile. I like to touch. Listen, petting my dog is like my favorite thing to do. Like I can stay home on a Friday night and just like stroke Coffee all night, rub her belly, rub her back, rub her little face, and it's my favorite thing to do.
Okay.
Touch. I'm tempted to touch.
All right.
I don't know where you were taking it.
Producer Steph, what's your favorite sense?
My sixth sense.
I want to tell you a secret now. I see dead people.
From CHFI Studios,
It's the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Do you ever wonder why some people get more mosquito bites than others? Because 'tis the season, it's summer, the mosquitoes are out. And if you are that person, are you wondering, like, am I doing something to attract them? Like, why do they love me so much?
People always say like, "Oh, you got sweet blood." I don't know if
Yes.
that's meant to be consolation because I get destroyed. I'm always like, "Great, I look like Will Smith in Hitch, but I have
But
sweet
you're-
blood."
Yeah, maybe that's just
So-
one of those, like, oh, it rains on your wedding, it's good luck. Like, maybe it is one of those
Those
things.
consolation things.
Here's the thing, bugs love me, Mosquitoes don't for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I was told it's because my blood is sour.
Wait, so are mosquitoes and bugs attracted to different qualities in your blood?
I guess so. There's a new study that's out that says when it comes to mosquitoes in particular, it has to do with several factors, but one of those factors is your blood type.
Your blood type, okay.
So do you know your blood type?
Okay, so I had to ask my mom.
So did I.
and she's like, let me get back to you. Because I was disappointed. I'm like, you don't just know this? Like, you don't have this like tattooed? Yeah, I'm O neg.
O negative.
O negative.
I wouldn't have never have guessed that about you with you and your sweet blood.
Yeah, I'm an O neg. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that not the sweet
I don't know.
kind?
It just sounds negative because
Right.
I'm O positive.
Oh, positive. But see, with medical stuff, positive's not good.
Really?
Did you want to be
well,
negative?
Yeah, that's true.
Your test came back positive.
That's true.
Yay! No, that's not good.
That's true. That's true. Okay, producer Steph?
A positive.
A
A
positive.
pos. All
Okay.
right.
And then Bossman Blair?
I am AB negative.
Oh, okay. AB negative is actually the rarest blood type.
That's what they tell me. I give blood every 6 weeks.
Yeah, you're
And
really consistent about it.
Because it's a blood that can be used for everybody. They're like, thanks for coming in. Like, they treat me, I get extra cookies. It's a
Wow.
good day.
You get extra cookies?
That's why he's there, really.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so there are 8 blood types: O positive, O negative, A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, AB positive, AB negative. The rarest is Bossman Blair's at AB negative.
Wow.
The most common is O positive. 35% of people are O positive.
Okay, now this is why it would make sense then. So according to this study, mosquitoes are attracted to people with blood type O twice as frequently as those with type A.
And regardless of whether you're O pos or O neg?
Yeah, just in the O category.
Okay, then this explains it. Because
Yeah.
you and I both get attacked.
I get eaten alive. I never did as a kid, but as an adult, I do now. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
And they also say body temperature is a big part of this as well. So if you're one of those people who like runs hot all the time, the likelihood of them coming
That's
to
my problem.
you.
I'm too hot.
Yeah, you're too hot.
Too hot.
Thanks for listening to the Pooja and Gurdeep podcast.
Listen to Pooja and Gurdeep live weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Only on 98.1 CHFI.
Toronto's perfect music mix.